Another psychological concept I like to talk about is the idea of desiring closure, desiring completeness. People generally like things to come to a nice little neat packaged ending, and there's full closure there. There's not a lot of loose ends. And sometimes this isn't actually a good thing. So in psychology, when you have a psychological problem, there is a tendency to want to resolve everything, to settle everything. But this isn't really healthy. People should actually be okay with there being a lot of loose ends, because that's largely how you move forward. And it's pretty much impossible to get closure with everything. Unfortunately, some things happen in life that are irreversible, and it's just impossible to get closure. But this tendency to desire closure is something that gets embedded in products and embedded in marketing. So, for example, I've been watching this show called Queen of the South. Now, without giving you too much spoilers, basically the show starts with the conclusion, which is a woman who ends up becoming this very powerful person. And but that's the ending of the series. But then we're brought to kind of the beginning of the series, which is her as a kind of a humble person that doesn't have a lot of power. Maybe she's a bit meek. And a lot of shows, novels, etc., they start this way. They start with the ending. I've always found it odd, because I'm like, well, I don't want to know the ending. I want to know, I want to be pushed through the story and surprised by what happens at the end. But I think it's a little trick. And what it does is it keeps people desiring to watch episode after episode to get that closure, to figure out, well, how did we get from A to Z? How did she go from a meek person to this very powerful person? Now, we also see this a lot in Korean dramas. So I've watched a lot of Korean dramas, and they're very good at creating this habit formation. And the way they do it largely is with cliffhangers. So the episode ends with something really dramatic. Okay, somebody's about to attack somebody, or somebody's about to kiss somebody, or somebody finds out a secret about somebody else. So what they're doing is they're playing on the psychological tendency to want closure. And that's something that you see embedded in products, you see it embedded in applications as well, where it's like you're about to advance to the next level or the next stage in the app. There's kind of a progression bar, and the idea is you want to get closure. Now, often this is kind of broken up into mini closure sections. So it's like level 1, you get a star. Okay, level 2, you get a gold medal. Level 3, you get a platinum medal. So it's not getting the closure that's too far away. There's little closures that you experience. So, for example, after the cliffhanger of episode 1, you get a little bit of closure, but then, there's another cliffhanger that happens that's even bigger. So that this helps to improve your marketing. People, they want to keep watching. And a lot of people that I find effective at this are YouTube influencers, YouTube celebrities. And what they'll do is they'll give you a little teaser in the beginning of the video and be like, oh, here's what you're going to learn. If you just continue watching, I'm going to show you the 3 steps. And then there's kind of a delay where you have to keep watching in order to get those 3 steps. This is a trick that people use, and it's extremely effective.